area, and we're so grateful for her presence and her uplifting message and just the person that she is. Thank you.
Thank you.
Whoops. There's a few things that I think we're good. I think so. Yeah, I don't think you're going to be good. Yeah. I always like to make a grand entrance. Just leave it to me. I'll find something. One time, in my very first time I ever stood in front of people, I don't know what happened, but there was a glass of water there that spilled all over my sermon. I just kept going. Everybody couldn't believe I just kept going. Wow, so good to be here with all of you in this beautiful, wonderful, sunny day. I can't tell you how magical it was, the drive over. It was incredible. With all this new rising green, yes, it was gorgeous. Well, tomorrow, can you hear me with this here? Okay. Tomorrow is Earth Day. In fact, every April 22nd is Earth Day. And that started in 1970. And earthday.org has a mission. And they have actually grown to be worldwide, including 1 billion people in 193 countries. So that is just wonderful. The official theme for 2024 is Planet versus Plastic. And they are committed to end the use of plastics for the sake of human and planetary health, of course. Now, they do this, of course, through education and through rapidly phasing out all single-use plastics and through cleanup, of course, of the plastic that has covered our Earth. Their goal is 60% reduction of all plastics by 2040. So I encourage us all to get in there and help them go beyond that. Let's something even better than that. So let us be reminded of the oneness of life, this interdependence of life that makes everything possible, and that every thought, word, and action that we do affects everything. And not only with humanity, but also with Mother Earth, who we call Gaia, and all of the species on this earth that she supports. I want to read to you from Pieces Every Step by Thich Nhat Hanh. He says, if you are a poet, you will see clearly that there is a cloud floating in this sheet of paper. Without a cloud, there will be no rain. Without rain, the trees cannot grow. And without trees, we cannot make paper. The cloud is essential for paper to exist. If the cloud is not here, the sheet of paper cannot be here either. So we can say that the cloud and the paper inter-are. So if we look into the sheet of paper even more deeply, we can see the sunshine in it. Without sunshine, the forest cannot grow. In fact, nothing can grow without sunshine, not even us. Looking more deeply, we can see the logger who cut the tree and brought it to the mill to be transformed into paper. We also see the wheat. We know that the logger cannot exist without his daily bread. So the wheat that became his bread is also in this sheet of paper. Looking even more deeply, we can see we are also in this paper. This is not difficult to see because when we look at the sheet of paper becomes the object of our perception. Your mind is in here, and mine is also. So we can say that everything is in here with this sheet of paper. We cannot point out one thing that is not here. Time, space, the earth, the rain, the minerals in the soil, the sunshine, the cloud, the river, the heat. Everything coexists with this sheet of paper. To be is to interbe. We cannot just be by ourselves alone. We have to interbe with every other thing. This sheet of paper is because everything else is. So he has shown us in detail the wonderful oneness of physical life. So I want to talk to you about the intimate relationship between humanity and Gaia. It goes beyond the physical relationship. The air we breathe, the soil that grows our food, the exquisite beauty, the mystery, and the majesty that I saw today of Mother Earth, and the sun and the planets in our galaxy that physically affect our lives. So I'm going to ask you to go outside the box a little bit here this morning. I kind of do that a lot, don't I? There's a human spiritual experiment taking place on Mother Earth. So when a soul decides to incarnate on Earth, there is great rejoicing in the other realms, because to choose to come here is considered a very brave soul experience and choice. And Gaia's sole purpose in us coming into this place is to support humanity. And all of this is incredible because it is a system that works together to support humanity. That's how important we are to the higher realms. Now, we must understand that this is a quantum relationship, and that may be difficult to fully understand because humanity thinks in linear terms. That's what we have always known. And sometimes it is very difficult to go beyond that, but I'm asking you to open your mind a little bit. Now, our scientists, I'm pretty sure you know that they are actually involved now in quantum theory, and they are beginning to see this, but it's a very slow process because of linear thinking. They really rely on proof. That's not a judgment. It's just that it might not take us as quickly as we want to go. And that's okay, because they'll find that the quantum realm usually defies logic. So it's going to be a slow process, but it is going to be a process. Now, Gaia is a master. Gaia is a master who has come here and come as this beautiful planet that we call Earth solely to support this experiment. So how does she do this? And what does this relationship look like? Now remember, we are talking quantum. So I invite you again to open your minds here. Each one of us has a personal Akashic record. Have you heard of Akashic records? Yes, good. And that is a record of everything about us, a multi-dimensional record of each life, all the energies of accomplishment that we have made, all the unfinished business relating to our life lessons, karmic group attributes, all talents and abilities grown over many lifetimes, all spiritual growth, and a quantum record of what you have done, and this is very important, all our potentials to come. Remember, it's quantum. So our personal Akashic record consists in 4 places: your DNA, the cave of creation, the crystalline grid, and the whales and the dolphins. Interesting, huh? Yes. Now, your DNA within your body holds your Akashic record. And I think that's probably pretty easy to understand. There are 12 layers in your DNA, not 2. The 2 are the ones that our technology can see right now. All those layers work together They're really not layers, but to define, they use the word layer. But they all work together in this quantum process, and so within your DNA is everything about you, including your spiritual essence. It's really a beautiful system. Now, here's a relationship that starts with Mother Earth. There is a cave of creation that is physically on this planet that will never be found. And this cave is a crystal, in this cave, there is a crystal for every soul who has ever come to this planet. Every soul has a crystal. And in that crystal is your Akashic record. And it is updated every time you choose to come here and experience physical life. It remains on Earth between your journeys here. Isn't that interesting? Now, Gaia has a magnetic grid. I think we all know that too. And each piece of our DNA is surrounded by a magnetic field. What that does is it means that the transfer of energetic information between the several places that the Akash is stored is possible because of the attributes of magnetics, which is a multidimensional energy. So the question is, why does Gaia record everything humans do? Because every human soul that comes to Earth makes a difference. We are that important. The energy of each unique human modifies the life force of Gaia, Mother Earth. And when the soul arrives, Gaia creates a record stored as an energetic imprint within those crystals in the cave of creation. Now, the crystalline grid is a grid that lays on Mother Earth and records everything we do in the physical form on this planet. It records your every footstep. It records your every thought. It records your every word. It records your every action. And it goes into that crystal in the cave of creation. And it's a very beautiful and sacred Akashic circle. Now, this system by necessity includes Earth because Earth is alive and is the mother. Earth is the mother, so very aptly named Mother Earth. The ancients and the indigenous honor Mother Earth, and they always have. So do you remember the movie The Last Mohican? You know, the first scene is they're hunting a deer. And when they do finally kill the deer, they kneel beside it. And they pray over this deer. And they express their gratitude for this deer giving them life. I saw that a long time ago, but it touched me so deeply, I can still see it in my mind. And I think it was one of the reasons why I really began to think about the other species on the earth. And just to, start thinking about Mother Earth and what she does for us. Now I'll go back to the whales and dolphins. They are living portions of this grid system. They are the library containing the history of the Earth's evolution. All three Akashic systems, the DNA, the cave of creation, and the crystalline grid, are stored in the whales and the dolphins. And they coordinate and cooperate with the crystalline grid. Isn't that exciting? I think that's just amazing. But even though there are those who hunt these species, from ancient times there has been this deep and continuing regard for these two species. I mean, we can even read it in our literature. And now it seems like it's growing, but for a while, it became something that was not in our awareness anymore. But it's coming back, and I'm very, very grateful for that. So every life to come is based on the potentials of now, right now. Each time you shift your current life, the potentials of your lives to come also change. So there is no timeline, only a constantly updated potential for your next life, created by you as you walk in this life. So if everything you're doing now in your current life is a setup for the next, I want to have you ask yourself these questions. What would I do differently from now on? And do I want the challenges that I face to be carried over into another expression of life? From Monica Mirani book, The Human Cost, she writes, every accomplishment you achieve towards finding God and the divinity within you raises your vibration. In turn, you raise the vibration of the planet. As we raise the vibration of the planet, we change the planet's potentials. Very important. As we raise our vibration, we're creating new life for us, new choices. So are you beginning to see the intimate relationship here that we have with Gaia? Are you beginning to see the importance of our honoring Mother Earth and all other species on this planet? From her book, The Gaia Effect, we learned that all species are here to support humanity. Humanity is very, very important to the spiritual realm. And I've never really looked at it that way before I started studying these books. But this means that it is okay to use other species to promote human life. Now, the thing that can affect the vibration is that we do this without honoring these species and without giving them our gratitude. So when we do honor them, we increase the vibration of all. And she says that all of these species know they are here to support humanity. And they are happy to do that. The mutual support raises the vibration of all. And think back to that, the last Mohicans, and that scene. And just think about the things that have happened in your life that support this oneness theory. How many of you ever felt something happening to your loved ones before you've ever been contacted about it? You know it in your heart. You know, and the people who suffer through catastrophes on our earth. And what do? We rush to help them. And we feel their emotions, which is that mirror effect that I've talked about before. We look out there and we see something happening to someone else, and we feel it as if it is happening to ourselves. That is the oneness of life. Our beloved pets. They love us unconditionally. And they show us that love every day. And even though they can't speak to us, we know we can communicate with them, can't we? And when we have these feelings of love and compassion, sometimes I get this joy that I think I'm going to just burst, you know, or you feel that love for something and you just think you're going to burst. And that is Source shining through you, your true essence. Speaking of whales, this was in the San Francisco Chronicle. A female humpback whale had become entangled in a spider web of crab traps and lines. She was weighted down by hundreds of pounds of traps that caused her to struggle to stay afloat. She also had hundreds of yards of line rope wrapped around her body, her tail, her torso, and a line tugging in her mouth. Well, a fisherman spotted her and alerted the authorities, who came, and they realized they had to dive in to start cutting the ropes. And that was a dangerous proposition, but they did it anyway. And they worked for hours and hours, and they freed her. When she was free, the diver said she swam in what seemed like joyous circles. She then came back to each and every diver one at a time and nudged them, pushing them gently around. She was thanking them. The rescuers said it was the most incredibly beautiful experience of their lives. And the man who cut the rope out of her mouth said her eyes were following him the whole time, and he will never be the same. And that's probably why they have the Akashic record within them, right? So we need to balance our higher and lower selves, human and spiritual selves. And as Drunvalo Melchizedek says, eventually when you're completely connected to the lower and the higher selves, it becomes clear that everything is alive. Once that realization becomes your life, then everything becomes communication and everything has meaning. The higher and the lower selves can communicate with you in all kinds of ways, not just as a vision, as angels, or as a voice that speaks in secret tongues in your head. Once connected, the entire reality becomes alive and fully conscious. The shape of trees, the color of a car at the right moment, even the license plates on the car can communicate to you. The movement of the wind, the flight of a bird in a certain direction, everything becomes alive and communicates. This world is much more than we were taught by our parents. The truth is they didn't know, though long ago their ancestors did. And then he goes on to say that we live in a world that exists only in the mind of God. It is only light. Using sacred geometry, the Mother, Father, Spirit of life has created a universe of light for us to play in and love each other. We are the children of God. Great Spirit expresses through each one of us and speaks of worlds of consciousness far above the ordinary life of humanity. We hold within us a potential so great that if all the adjectives in the dictionary were compressed into one word, it would still not fully describe the innate greatness shining out of the eyes of a single, ordinary, everyday child. That's how great we are. Right? So let's just breathe in those words. Let's just breathe in our magnificence. And let's breathe in all of those potentials that lay in front of us that we can just reach out and choose. So let's go into meditation now. Relax and close your eyes. And breathe deeply. And to come into coherence, I usually ask you to think about someone or something that brings you joy. Today, I want you to think about you. I want you to realize how beautiful you are, how incredibly brave you are, and how important your gifts, your unique gifts, are to this planet, to humanity, and to every species in this world. You are that precious. So let us bless ourselves as this incredible part of this beautiful sacred system that includes Mother Earth. What a brilliant miracle this earth is. She's majestic. She sustains us. And she gives us unconditional love every moment. So let us revere her. And in that reverence, let us care for her. Let us care for all the species on this earth that are here for us. And let us do it with love, with respect, with gratitude, with honor, in a very gentle way. Not only humans helping animals, animals helping humans. Jax the dolphin, found and returned to health, is a goodwill ambassador for handicapped veterans. And they swim with her. Winter the dolphin, who lost his tail, and in the process of creating another one for him, they improved the prosthetics for humans. And she is always there. She's still alive too, and she's there for us. A cat named Harvey lived in an assisted living home. He knew when the patients were going to die, and he always, always went and laid by them. One family who didn't want Harvey in the room and would not let him in. Harvey scratched and scratched and scratched at the door because he knew she needed him. The beauty of the flowers, the amazing energy and love you get from trees. The connection is everywhere. You feel it in your heart and soul and your physical body when you open to it. So let us bless our earth home into all its species and this interconnectedness that we have, this interdependence. Let's do it with our prayers of health and peace. And let us hold the intention that many others on this planet are doing the same. We are grateful for this miraculous, marvelous planet we call home. And with love and gratitude, let us commit to doing all we can to live gently upon this earth. So let us take a few deep breaths. Feel the aliveness of life in all of its form, because every time we breathe, that's what we're breathing in. So bring your attention back. Thank you very much for being here. In our class today, we're going to dive deeper into this thing called the Cave of Creation. It's very interesting. Thank you so much.